Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. We have an amazing show for you today with the one and only Tanya Lee Davis. A special shout out to Matt Frazier for hooking us up with her. She told one of the best poop stories we've ever heard, on this show. So it's pretty amazing.
Really did. And I think we discovered that she's our MVP for 2021. We're already giving it to the person of the third week of this year. If anybody can top this story, I'll be very, very surprised.
I mean, I'm going to be very impressed if anybody can beat that because it's pretty epic. Tanya Lee is very small in stature, but towering in laughs. So she really is just, I don't know, it was one of our favorite interviews. We had such a great time with her. She's delightful. She's amazing. Please go check out her stuff.
Shot out of the cannon with her 50th birthday poo and...
Yeah. I mean, you're going to hear all that on today's show. So please enjoy.
God bless her.
And don't forget to download, rate, review. It's very important.
And go to the website, heypoopypodcast.com, where you can check out everything from our merch, our cartoons, and even get our hotline number at 203-998-5579 or email us at heypoopypodcast@gmail.com. Send us your stories. We play them in all the episodes.
Yeah. Show us some love. And maybe, get a little bit of fame or infamy. I don't know which one. I don't know how you want to look at it. But either way, we will talk about you, play your voicemails, whatever needs to get done on this show. And
if you have a product you want us to review, email us. We want to check out those products for your butthole.
Surprisingly, a lot of ass-related, poop-related products out there. We can't cover them all, so we need you guys to help us out with that.
I know. I just found Dave the other day a dartboard that's for when you're on the shitter and you want to waste time with these Velcro darts, and it's all poop-related. I think I need to buy that. It was $9.
That's for the most constipated person or something, because I feel like my butt would fall asleep if I kept playing that game.
You shouldn't be spending that much time on that dartboard.
But if you are, that sounds like a fun game. So at least, you have something to do when you're in there.
Totally.
Anyway, so yes, enjoy the show.
On to Tanya Lee Davis.
Hey, Poopy, how you doing? Hey, Poopy, how you doing?
I'm just, trying to find a place with like-minded people to talk about like-minded things about me, about poop and stuff.
Hey, Poopy, how you doing? Hey, Poopy, how you doing?
Oh, man, what's this right here? Is this a podcast about poop?
And now, the Hey Poopy Podcast with Dave and Ellen.
Hi, everybody. We're back on this dump day. And we have a really awesome show today. We're super excited.
Yes,
Cannot wait.
This is the Hey Poopy Podcast with
Dave
and Ellen, and this is episode 103, but it'll always be number 2 to us. And we have an extremely special guest that another one of our guests introduced us to. And if you all remember the episode with Matt Frazier, he said that this person has the most epic story ever. So we are so glad to have Tanya Lee Davis here.
Hello,
thanks for
everybody.
us on the show.
Shitland.
Yes. We were talking before the show started about Tanya Lee was saying that basically, she's got the most epic story, so we can't wait to hear that.
Yeah, I'm really bigging it up. And bigging it up.
But yeah, he was like, I don't want to tell her story for her. She should come on herself. And I was like, well, introduce us already then.
Yeah,
I know when he messaged me, emailed, and hooked us all up, I was like, this is my dream show. Because I was like, I've literally been wanting to put a show together, and they have the vagina monologues, and women talk. Well, everybody's got a shit story, so I wanted to call it the shit logs. And,
that's a good one.
But
excellent pun.
You guys are on it already, so it's great.
Well, again, thanks for being on the show, and thanks to Matt Frazier for hooking this up.
Yay, Matt!
You could call it the butthole logs. Because if it's the vagina logs.
Yeah.
We're just riffing here. We're just spitballing.
Yeah.
Tanya, I think you should still do it because you'll do the live theater version and we're the podcast version. And then you can have us live and tell our stories.
There we go. brainstorming here, guys.
Yeah,
You never know.
exactly.
It happens, right?
We only have like 103 episodes of people shitting their pants. So we have lots of content for you.
Absolutely. So,
Well, like we do always, we like to start the show with like checking in with our guests. So, as we usually say, how have your poops been?
well, I'm a big water drinker. But I recently started drinking grape water, Propel, Gatorade, and I'm finding that it's loosening me up a little bit.
Oh,
Getting a bit, my constitutions are a bit jelly. Not as solid as they should be. So,
right.
Yeah, something I'm keeping an eye on.
That's something they don't say in those Gatorade commercials, right?
I won't be getting any sponsorship.
No.
I love them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Electrolytes keeping you moving.
Keeping you loose.
Absolutely. There you go.
Yeah. What about you, Dave? How's it going?
It's going okay. I had an early morning poop around 6 o'clock this morning. I just woke up and it was a mess, but like a loose 6. I don't know. We had sushi last night, so maybe there was something in there, but I don't know. So yeah, that's all. I've only had one today, I think, which is shocking. But it was, it was one of those things. I got up, I had a stomach ache, I went out to the bathroom, did my thing, and then went right back to bed. And then I went for like a run later on. So, in and out, as they say.
It wasn't one of those where you had to have a shower directly.
No, it wasn't that bad. At first, I was like, this could be. It could have been.
My 50th birthday. Was last Friday, a week, or like the 27th of November.
Oh, happy birthday.
And I woke up and so I mentioned earlier, I'm living with my parents. And I'm a little person. So my parents are tall. It's my dad and my stepmom. And their house is completely not dwarf accessible. So the bed that we're sleeping on is like 5 feet off the ground, and I have to use a stepladder. So in the middle of the morning or in the middle of the night, if I'm having a code brown situation or even a heavy code yellow, man, I mean, I'm on a memory foam mattress, first of all. So trying to get off that, then I gotta crawl down with my butt cheeks clenched down the stepladder. I gotta go running around the bed. I gotta reach up for the door handle. I gotta cross the entire house from the living room to the dining room, the kitchen, to get to our bathroom because I can't use my parents' bathroom because theirs is right outside my fucking door. So I gotta go across the house, clenching and running. Then I gotta get up on a stepladder to get onto a toilet that is unnecessarily high by anybody's standards. And then get up there and do my business, hoping. Anyway, last Friday wasn't so successful. Pretty much needed a mop on the way through.
Oh, no. Happy birthday.
I got my fiance on the phone and go, just had a situation.
Oh.
We need to get in the shower like right away. I can't leave the bathroom.
If you had to contact your fiance, was he just down the hall?
Oh,
so did you call him from the bathroom? Like, how did you contact? Yeah.
No, I
love
texted
that you had
him.
to contact. Like when you said you had to contact.
Yeah, because I think he gets out of bed before I do. So otherwise, I would have helped get him to push me off the bed. Because I'm on the memory foam, right? Oh yeah. Anyway, it's just it wasn't good. It wasn't the way I wanted to start off my 50th decade.
It's just like, what a present for yourself.
Right? Welcome to old age. Literally just shit the bed.
Oh man. Well,
happy birthday, but yeah.
Yeah, sorry about the shitting your pants.
50 years are not covered in poop.
Yeah, well, it's going downhill as we,
Yeah, right.
Start off in diapers and you end up in diapers.
Pretty much.
Yeah, right.
And
then
it's going.
And then you were also saying that you left a trail, so there was a trail down the hallway. Well,
yeah. Luckily, they have tile floors. So.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So
no carpets.
One of those where it's like you're clenching, but it's not. When it's not a solid.
Mm-hmm. It's got to come out somewhere.
You're.
But no, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you left a trail of poop down your parents' hallway, that's when you say to them, I get to use the bathroom that's next door to the room from here on in, unless you want this to keep happening.
Right. Yeah. Luckily, there was nobody around for that humiliation.
Yeah, I don't think I could take a shit next to my parents' room. I think I'd have to just do the walk down. I don't care how close it is. It's too close for comfort, as they say.
Yeah, no, I've got no shame. I don't. I mean, convenience-wise, it's just the fact that it's one of those bathrooms that has the two doors. So it has a door into their bedroom and a door from the hallway. So I would be coming in from the hallway, which means I got an extra step that if I'm running for the toilet, I got to run to the other end of the bathroom and close the second door if I'm going to take a dump or when I'm going to take a dump. So it just adds an extra. I'm using that energy to get across the hall, and that way I can get in the shower.
Yeah.
It's just too much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, agreed.
That's what I'm saying.
So, Ellen, how have your poops been?
Today, I just had my regular, not super crazy long, but Bristol 4. I have nothing really to squawk home about, except for the fact that I had to poop when I was on the phone with our meeting with Dave and Stormy. But I just heard Gerald walk into the bathroom as the poop started brewing. And so I got off the phone with you, Dave, and Stormy, and I went to the bathroom and I knocked on the door and I was like, "Are you in there?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm pooping. Leave me alone." And I was like, oh my God, this is going to be another situation where I shit in the fucking garbage can in the kitchen. And so I was like, because we only have one bathroom in this house.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, great. And so I'm thinking, am I going to really do this again? And so I just went back to my desk, sat down, continued doing some work. And he actually came out with 3 minutes later. So I was able to actually just shit in the toilet like a normal person.
Cool. Nice. All right.
So I almost had an epic check-in, but it's just boring.
She's like, let me tell him anyway.
Tanya,
Yes.
Before we go into your epic story and everything else about your butthole, I would really like to know more about yourself so you can tell the audience what you do besides your poo.
The world, yes. Oh, okay. Well, my name is Tanya Lee Davis. I'm a little person, 3 foot 3 inches tall for the podcast community. I've been doing stand-up comedy for 30 years. Motivation speaking. All over the world. I'm originally from Canada, but I'm also American. For the last 17 years, I've been working in the UK, mostly internationally. That's how I met the lovely Matt Fraser. And we have mutual friends. We've done shows together in the UK. And then for the last 4 years, my fiance and I have been living in England. But thanks to COVID and me losing all of my gigs, this very profitable, which would have been a very profitable year for me, got evicted, couldn't pay the bills or the rent, so I had to move back in with my parents. Well, I've never lived with my dad since I was 6 years old when I got divorced from my mother. So it's 50 years old. My dad turned 76 today, and here we are, rekindling our relationship. Very weird.
Oh.
I mean, God bless that you're safe and everything, but I'm sorry about that. And everybody who's dealing with all this COVID financial bullshit, it's just awful.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a difficult time for performers because, I understand. Don't get me wrong. Everybody has mental health issues and the whole scheme of things, right? But performers, we're also needy narcissists, and not being able to perform to real life human beings. My last time on stage prior, was March 14th. And luckily being in Florida where it's open, I've done some shows here and I got one next Thursday. But I was 6 months not performing and not engaging. And as a performer, you don't get that endorphin release, which then completely derails you. And that's where depression and all that type of thing comes in. That's why sort of TikTok saved me a little bit because it's now given me an outlet where I can literally perform like a dancing monkey every time, every day whenever I want, and just get that, that bit of an adrenaline release.
Yeah. Yeah, we have a lot of performer friends here in New York that have the same thing. They're just kind of like, you can't really see anybody. It's just, it's fun to do, I guess, online, but there's that whole aspect of the crowd and that.
It's not the same at all. It's not the same. It's great. Yeah, I think the thing is when it first started happening, we were like, okay, great, and now I don't like the term new normal, but like as a performer, we're going to take what we can get. So if this is the way it's got to be, then ham it up. As a little person, I don't like really performing over the computer because, I rely on my physicality a lot. And, I look like an avatar or I look like a Pokemon, when I'm on the computer now. And so just people don't get, other than the facial expressions, I can see right a lot easier. But my body and stuff like that, it's just weird. It's different, but.
Crossing fingers that like in the next year with the new administration, we'll start seeing some kind of real normal.
Yeah. Well, we just need to get back into business, get back moving, living life.
Yeah, completely.
More shit stories.
Yeah, agreed.
You've already started off with your epic birthday shit story with a trail.
I know, I'm telling you, you don't have enough hours in the day for the amount of poop stories I've got. Jesus.
Yes, we do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have plenty of room.
Keep you on for all those interesting stories.
We're 103 hours worth so far. That's great.
Amazing. So do you want to go into your epic story the way Dave is very excited about?
Yes,
Perfect.
Absolutely. Okay. So, like I mentioned earlier, I'm a stand-up comedian, and I was performing in Spokane, Washington. This is well over 15 years ago. And I was headlining. I was at the back of the room. My opening act was on stage. So I was having a bite to eat, a BLT, and a Diet Coke. And sometimes when I have a soda with a meal, and if you've got any digestive issues, sometimes Coca-Cola or fizzy drinks are not the best thing to eat with anything, to drink with anything. So all of a sudden I started getting popcorn guts, right? And I know, I've got IBS, right? So I know from previous experience, I don't have a lot of time. So I'm like, oh my God, where are the toilets? I've never been to this club before. And they're like, it's connected to a sports bar. So they're like, you got to go out the door, down the hallway to the sports bar. So I'm running. I am clenching my ass. I am running. And I'm going down the foyer, and the owner of the comedy club, his girlfriend, standing in the hallway with her parents. She's like, hey, Tanya Lee, I want to introduce you to my parents. I'm like, not now. So I go running into the toilet. There's 3 stalls, and they're all taken. So now I'm crouched down on the ground. I'm labor breathing. I've got sweat beads rolling down my face. I've got that face, that.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go for free.
It's all coming out.
Luckily, the woman in the middle stall comes out, kind of a heavy-set woman with a red sequin top. She sees me crouched down on the ground. I'm like, ee! So I go running into the stall. I close the door. I pull my pants down. I'm doing a bit of a dance, right? I'm doing a bit of a dance because I got a dilemma. My dilemma is, how do I get on the toilet seat? Because obviously I have a system, right? As most little people do. I would normally back that ass up, right? I would lean forward, get one ass cheek up onto the toilet, and then throw myself up onto the seat. Right? Well, that's not going to work when you're clenching your buttocks as tightly as possible. Right? So I'm like, okay, I got to come up with another plan, right? I'm got to come up with another plan. I'm like, think. I'm not thinking very clearly right now, people, because I'm under a lot of pressure internally and externally, right? So I'm like, oh my God, I got to come up with another plan. I'm like, I know what I'll do. I'll go head first. Right? I'll get my knee up on the seat. I'll go head first, and then I can flip myself around. Right? But of course, I had to wait for the cramp to pass. You know how you got that window of opportunity where you can make the flee or fart kind of moment. So I'm like, okay, wait for the cramp to pass. I had that window, and I went thrusting. I got on my knee up onto the seat. I threw myself forward. And that's when my ass exploded.
Oh, no.
I shot out like a party popper at New Year's. I hit the door and the sides of the stall, and it just started dripping. Everything was in slow motion for me. I was like, it wasn't until I heard the screams of the 2 women on either side of me and the woman by the sink when they saw the shit dripping down that they started screaming. It jolted me into reality, and I was like, oh my God, no. Of course, my first reaction, grab a big wad of toilet paper, I start wiping down the door, and I'm wiping down the stall, wiping down the door, and then it occurred to me, oh my God, I'm in here by myself now. What if somebody comes in here, right? Oh my God, nobody can see this shit. Right? So I go running to the door of the restroom, and I'm literally going, what am I going to do? Oh my God. Right? And I was like, the owner's girlfriend. Maybe she's still out in the foyer, right? So I open the door. I'm like, hey, Christine, I need a mop. So Christine comes to the door. Of course, I have to explain to her, had a bit of an accident. Of course, I'm a comedian. She thinks I'm making it up. So she walks in, she looks around, and she starts going, and then she fucks off. And I'm like, oh my God, no, you can't leave me hanging like this. I can't do this on my own, right? It seemed like an eternity. Seemed like forever. It was probably only a couple minutes. Some woman pops her head in the door. Some woman I don't even recognize. She pops in and she's like, hi, I'm Gail. I'm Christine's mom. I understand you need some help. I'm like, oh, this is just fucking great. I'm butt naked from the waist down. There's shit everywhere. I'm like, this is my first impression with this lady. I'm like, nice to meet you. So Gail comes in. A female bartender comes in. She's got a mop. She starts going to town. Gail has my black pants that were on the ground. She's now got them up by the sink trying to scrape the shit splatter.
Oh.
I'm still in the bathroom stall with a big wad of toilet paper, trying to wipe down the door, wipe down the stall and everything. Can't get the smell of shit out of my nose, right? And next thing you know, Christine comes in. She's like, hey, just so you know, your opening act is finished. But don't worry, the owner's on stage killing time until you're ready. Oh my God! I'm like, oh, I've got to go on stage, right? Oh my God, I got this. I still got to go on stage. I'm like, I got to get my shit together. I'm the headliner. People actually came to see me. There's no plan B, right? I got to get it together. So Gail gives me back my black pants. Now they're black pants with a little bit of toilet paper, napkin, and shit splatter on them.
Oh my God.
I didn't see this happening. I didn't bring a change clothes. Nope. I gotta make this happen. I think I might have thrown him in the reverse or inside out or something. So I'm like, okay, I gotta walk back to the comedy club. I'm like, woo! I can do this. I'm a professional, man. I can do this, right? I'm trying to psych myself up on the way to the comedy club. Oh my God, I can't believe this happened. I can't get the smell of shit out of my nose.
Oh yeah.
I walk back into the comedy club. Somebody gives the owner the old thumbs up. She's ready to go sign. I get my introduction. I go running up on stage. I get up onto my box. I turn to the audience. And right in the front row was the woman with the red sequin top and her two friends. And in all the comedy clubs in all the world, of all the seats in a comedy club, those bitches had to be sitting in the front row. Of course, we locked eyes. Their drinks spew out of their noses. Every time I mention the word poop, they get falling off their seats. And I'm like, I had to do an entire hour on stage. An entire hour of all like happy, joy. When I was so pent up with emotion, I just wanted to burst into tears and, of course, have a shower. So when I was done, I mean, I didn't hi or bye. I didn't say hi or bye to anybody. And I just got the hell out of there. I got back to my hotel room. I closed the door. Of course, I burst into tears. I started taking off my clothes and going to have a shower. And I had much longer hair at the time, and it was in a ponytail on the top of my head. So I reached up to take my ponytail out of the top of my head and realized the entire top of my head was caked in shit. When I was wiping down the stall, I've got little T-Rex arms. My arms are really short, so I was leaning forward and my entire top of my head was rubbing up and down the shit stall. So I was a total shithead. Oh my God. Okay,
wow.
So this happened like almost 2 decades ago, let's say, right? And I was traumatized. I've never been back to Spokane, let alone Washington State. Anyway, of course, at the time I told my husband at the time and my best friend, I couldn't sleep for weeks, for months, right? I was just, you know how you relive. It was just, and so one day my best friend, we're having like an orphan's Christmas and everybody's getting drunk and stoned and, we're having a great time. And all of a sudden my best friend Pam, she's like, tell everybody about the time you shit yourself. And I was like, oh, you do this to me, right? And I was like, oh. So I told the story and I'm telling you exactly the way it happened. Like, I'm not even embellishing one iota. Right? And so, of course, I tell it the way it happened. I get anxious because, I suffer from PTSD, post-traumatic shit disorder. So, but I feel like now I've been talking about it, and it's, everybody, like I said, you guys have a podcast, everybody's got a shit story, but I feel like I need to get my story out there because I'm in show business, and hoping to be famous one day, and when you think about it, Kim Kardashian had a sex tape and stuff like that. I'm like, I completely shit myself, so I'm going to talk about it. Why not? Everybody else talks about it. Even because I feel like I need to get the story out there because right now I can picture those three women sitting around a campfire with their grandkids, talking about the day they saw a midget explode.
Oh yeah, you're in their story for life. Like you were just like completely. Like, they tell that story constantly.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite requests on when I do my TikTok lives. They're like, tell us the time you shit yourself. So I had to put it on YouTube so people could share it. So yeah, so it's out there on the universe. If you want to share that story, go to my YouTube. It's out there for the taking.
Well, hopefully they just listen to the podcast right now and then they can hear it then.
And then they can share that with everybody.
Exactly. Well, first, I mean, as much as traumatizing as that was, I feel like I need to play this. That was insane. I mean, I know, right? I just the part where it just like a cannon hit the door and it's just like oozing down that door like some kind of like just evil film of of just muck.
Something from the creature from the lagoon.
Pretty much.
Soaring out of my asshole.
Yeah, it wanted out.
Really foul, you guys. I mean, literally, I just want to die. I want to die. And it was, I mean, this is why I feel like, obviously there's a reason why I have a big mouth and I'm not afraid to talk about this stuff because I found it very liberating to be able to tell the story. And because it literally was so crippling to me, emotionally crippling to me. And now I get so much joy from telling the story because I think it brings people together. Like shit stories bond people. Like, it's like going to war, man. You've been in the fucking trenches. Yeah. You don't just wipe your ass with a sock or, I had to go shit behind a Denny's beside the dumpster with Kevin. My fiance, poor guy, hates poo. And I'm just like, we just had Denny's. Come on. Like, I can't go back in there. I need help. Code Brown, Kevin, Code Brown.
Code Brown?
Why do I yell Code Brown now? He knows I'm serious and don't debate me. I need help. So we got to like usher around this dumpster and I'm trying to grab a piece of scrap metal or something to hang my ass over so I don't get the backsplash. Anyway.
I mean,
so if I could basically pinpoint on a map where I basically left my packages, I'm like Santa in a way, leaving bags of coal for the kids.
I think your Denny's story just answered one of my questions because if you ate a BLT and then had a Diet Coke and had explosive diarrhea after, I was wondering if that stopped you from eating foods that you knew would bother you, but it sounds like you're going to keep going.
You got to live.
Yeah, well, you know what, though? To be perfectly honest, my shit stories have gone down considerably because I've taken a multivitamin with probiotic.
Nice.
Throwing it out there. That has been a saving grace. Probiotic, because it does help with dodgy guts. So unlike today where I was mentioning my stools a little on the loosey-goosey side, I think it has to do with the water and the whatever. But generally, my consistencies have been pretty spot on. And I'm taking iron pills so you get that marble look to it.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, if you take iron, I do know that with people who have too much iron in their system and they take iron pills, it constipates them.
Oh, you come out there like coal, man. It's like charcoal. But my doctor, Yeah, no, because I was having that problem. And yeah, you don't want to push too hard because it'll give you hemorrhoids.
Totally.
So he said take an iron pill every other day. And I've had zero problems. But it makes the poop nice and colorful.
That's probably every other day is that marbling. So you got the one day mixed in with the next day.
It's like, hey, it's like.
And you're saying that Kim Kardashian got famous because of that sex tape. If there was some security camera in that bathroom, would you have released the tape?
Oh, well, now that I've told the story to the world, sure, why not? I mean, you know, yeah, if it gives me Kim Kardashian,
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, bring it out.
Also, what network's going to...
I'd be pouring myself out everywhere. Sure.
What network's going to be playing that? They're like, here's the Tanya Lee Davis shit tape again. Everything's blurred out.
So, and then also the last question I have from that story is, did you go back to your hotel and just like shower for like 5 hours?
Oh, yeah. No, I crawled in like probably, you know, it's like a scene from Witness or something where I'm just curled up in the corner of the shower, just with the water dripping over me.
I mean,
crying to myself.
The realization that you had it in your hair, I'm like, you're on stage. I mean,
that's the thing. Well, look, I mean, you guys can't tell on the podcast world, but like my hands do not reach the top of my head. I've got total T-Rex arms. Right? So when you think about like a ponytail and a hat with really curly hair, so it was like this cotton ball poof on the top of my head there. And then it wasn't until I reached over that I felt like crusty, and then I was like, oh my God, no.
But like a true professional, the show must go on, and you delivered.
That's it, right?
You know?
Yeah, you should win an award just for that.
Yeah,
right?
that's
like there are other people who would have been like, I'm going home, I can't do this, and you were like, nope, I'm here for a reason.
Yeah, that's pretty.
Exactly it. Well, that's when it really solidified to me when I started telling that story, and I got such a great, honest response from it, and it became so rewarding that I was like, all right, I'm on the right track. I just got to tell stories of real life and, you know, humiliating stories because we're all in this together. You know, like I said.
Well, it's like people can relate too, because like everybody's had those kind of things. Maybe it's not as epic as that, but on some level of the spectrum, we've all had that kind of like where it's just like danger. You just know like it's gonna be bad.
Highway to the danger zone.
Yeah. Yours is like the Hollywood movie version of a normal like shit your pants story. That's like
if I could get somebody to do an animation version.
Oh well, you're in luck because
that could be a Simpsons or a Family Guy episode.
We actually animate a bunch of our stories from this.
Oh my God!
Or not our stories, but guests we've had on. We've animated their stories into actual cartoons. So this is probably going to be our like our Godfather.
Seriously, if you do that, send it to me and I'll put it out on my TikTok. I'll make a TikTok video of it or whatever. That'd be great. It'd be great.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Ellen. That's one of the best shit stories we've heard. And
once you get my ass, it's nice and plump.
Ooh, excellent.
Well, I mean, we might have to have you have a private meeting with our cartoonist, so our animator, so he can really get your essence. The body right.
Yeah,
exactly.
You got the point of when I get up my knee onto the toilet and then the view of my ass cheeks just rising and all of a sudden, you know, that's got to be spot on.
He'll get that. He's well versed now in the world of shit, so he's got it all down.
Oh, awesome!
I like how you said spot on too, because your spot was on.
Yeah, you were. Yeah, that's.
We always have stories on the podcast of like shit being up a wall or shit on the ceiling of a public bathroom. And everybody's always like, how does it get there? And I want to be like, listen to our show. We have people on that have explanations of how it got there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the door thing. I mean, I still want to get a forensic, almost like a detective, if you will, because the ones up on the ceiling, I want to know like how did that happen. I want to see all the arrows.
Lasers and it's pointed in all the directions.
Exactly.
You had to be angled in this way for it to go there.
It's like an analysis of the Zabruta film, like, as you can see, the projectile.
Too funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Well, thanks for sharing that. That's
My pleasure.
I'm just so glad Matt introduced us to you because
yeah.
that was worth the wait. It was worth everything.
It was gold
Like
or
tears
brown.
were running down.
And that's the thing is people still going, did that really happen? I'm like, you literally cannot make that shit up.
No, you can't.
That's why it's such a great story. And that, because I go back into that moment, that terror and that vulnerability and that just feeling every time I tell it, that's why it sells so well, because it's just the raw reality of it all. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Bless you.
Whew.
A moment of silence for my asshole.
Yeah, right. I need that was it the tap soundtrack, sound bite? Like the military thing they play. Or Reveille or one of those. Whatever it's called. But yeah, I think it's called taps. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right.
That is hilarious. Oh my God. And then you pretty much had a check-in of your 50th birthday, leaving a trail of shit down your hallway. So I just want to commend you for just bringing the goods.
You came in hot.
Yeah. I'm bringing it up.
Yeah, it's like a runaway train.
My dad, because like I said, I live with my parents. My dad and my stepmom got my fiance Kevin and I a used car, so we have some wheels now. And one of the first things they said is we're gonna have to buy a baby's toilet seat. Like a little porta potty for kids, just in case, we're out somewhere. Because Kevin hates. I'm like, let me just pull over there and open the door, and then he's just like, and I'm like, okay, well then I'm gonna buy myself a little kitty potty. I need one for each ass cheek though.
Or you can do. We had a guest on who took one of those little camping chairs and just cut a hole out in it. So if you're like in a pinch, you can just whip that out of the trunk and just go in the woods somewhere and bam, there you go.
Yeah, and you don't get the spray. But yeah, see, I always try to sit over a log or sort over something because I'm so low to the ground, and the way my ass is angled, everything always comes forward. So I tend to pee on my ankles a lot. And so I gotta if I'm like hanging over something, then it goes straight down.
Yeah, I mean, they get the smaller camping chair, maybe that could be a solution.
Yeah.
Add it to your arsenal.
Mm-hmm.
I think Dave, you still have a picture of Mike's chair, so send her.
I'll send you it.
Tanya, one of the pictures, so then you'll have some ideas.
I need to make my own version. I carry those step stools with me, so I just need a step stool and then just cut a hole in it. That way,
bam. There you go.
Now, what I do is when we're out, I take my step stool with me. It's Rubbermaid, it's plastic, it's washable. So I'll literally put one cheek on the edge of the step stool and then just hang my rest of the so that it, so.
You should take that to Shark Tank.
Yeah. We do what we got to do, people.
Yeah, exactly.
Matt Frazier gave us a great tip that I like. He said if you're doing those like festivals that are many days long, he's like, instead of going into those disgusting porta potties, he's like, just bring some plastic shopping bags with you and like flatten them out, shit in that, and tie it up. So you need just like a stool that you can put in your own plastic bag. So when you're done, you could tie it up like dog poop,
Yeah.
I think we got something there for you.
Yeah.
We're going to make sure your next 50 years are poop taken care of.
Yeah. Add some kind of strap situation to it if you're like hiking somewhere. It's, have like all utilitarian
exactly
poop solutions.
All sorts of things these days.
Oh my God.
The crappers.
Tanya, one of our favorite questions is, what kind of toilet paper do you use, and do you put it on the roll over or under?
I am very much an over person because I've got once again short arms. So when I'm sitting on the toilet, I'm very long in the body trunk, so I'm the same height as you. And but then with the short arms, I had to like lean and try to go underneath and grab them. Meantime, I'm falling off the flipping toilet. So definitely over. And I like a lot of toilet paper. I mean, I like soft toilet paper. Because the way, once again, short arms, I'm sure you guys had this discussion with Matt, who's thalidomide. He's got fucking fingers coming out of his shoulders. So, of course, first question is, how the hell do you wipe your own ass? So we've come up, we all have our own ways of doing stuff. I haven't actually asked Matt that question. I don't know if you guys did, but yeah, of course you did.
He gave us a tutorial.
But I use a stick. I have a plastic stick that I use for various things, but one of its main things is to pull my pants up and down, but then also I wad up the toilet paper in a pretty good wad, and then I shove it between my legs, and I take my stick and I basically harpoon myself.
Oh, wow.
I put the paper in, I just wham, and then I sit there and I do this on the edge of the toilet. I scoop my butt across. So anyway, that's the first time I've ever told anybody how I've actually wiped my ass. So there you go.
Oh, thanks for that exclusive.
That's amazing.
That's an exclusive. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that.
Everybody wants to know how little people do it.
I mean, I want to know.
We at Hey Poopy want to know.
These are the burning questions.
Yes, but if there are anybody else out there who have burning questions for the Hey Poopy podcast, you can email us at heypoopypodcast@gmail.com or call us at 203-998-5579. We want to hear all your questions. So
leave a message. We'll play it on the show, or we'll have you on the show possibly. Who knows?
Yes. We are pretty much one of the few shows that every fan who has a great shit the pants story then becomes a guest.
Yeah.
Excellent.
We'll have you on. We'll pretty much have you on if it's anybody, really. If you got a good shit story, you're pretty much on.
Yeah, if you're willing to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. Please.
Exactly. And when you were talking about your stick, which I would love to see a picture of this plastic stick that helps you with everything, it reminded me about way back in the day, way before toilet paper was invented, people actually used a communal sponge on a stick to wipe their butts.
Yeah.
So at least your stick is just for you, but people used to share said stick.
Well, if you want to see a picture of my stick, actually, if you want to... I did a TED Talk. I've done 2 TED Talks, but one of my TED Talks, one was from Liverpool, England, and that's about the trains and living in England, and the other one is, it's called Tanya Lee, Unstoppable Me, and it was in Cyprus, and I basically talk about the 3 things that I need in my life. My scooter to get me around, my step tools to reach stuff, including getting on the toilet without shitting myself. I started carrying a step, at the time of my original shit story, I never had a step stool. Now step stools all the way.
Oh yeah.
My stick. So step stool, stick, and scooter. So I have a picture. If you go to the TED Talk, you can see the stick and everything.
Check that out.
Yeah. I'm
hoping to get them mass produced. Yeah.
Cool.
Mass produced for people with disabilities or for anybody that needs an extension. It's a really cool design. And yeah.
Oh, amazing.
You had it designed just for you?
Well, funny story. Being that I'm 50, my mom had a 1972 Pontiac Parisian when I was a kid growing up. And I grew up in Canada, and we had the Automobile Association. And back in the day, they didn't have automatic door locks. They had these little posts that come up. So the car association would give people a wooden stick. So if you were in the driver's seat and you needed to lift up the passenger door lock, you could reach across and have these 2 little hooks, and it would pop the door lock up. Well, I stole that out of my mom's car, and I started using it for the light switches and stuff like that, and it had these 2 little hooks, like kind of just little hooks on the end. So I started using that to push my pants down and used it to pull my pants up, and then it evolved into, now I have step stools with me everywhere. And they were originally wooden, and then I kept getting splinters or they break. Then my mom's boyfriend that she had made it out of this really cool plastic. So now I'm trying to get them mass produced. I got a patent pending.
Wow, that's amazing. You have a patent pending?
Awesome.
You said, sorry, you said you had a patent pending for it?
Yep.
That's amazing.
Yeah, my dad's paying for it. So yeah, we want to sell them at the Little People conventions because I was giving them away, and now I have 3 left. And I mean, that's if I lose one, I'm screwed. Yeah. And my ex-husband and I tried to make one out of we took a plastic cutting board, and because it's that same hard plastic, but we did a really crap job of it. So we need to find somebody that's got those big sheets of that heavy duty plastic. To be able to make them, sturdy enough. But anyway.
Do you know if you had somebody who could 3D print? Would that be easy? Because we actually know somebody.
Yeah, I mean, 3D printing may actually be a cheaper option. I'm not sure. We haven't.
Yeah.
We're not at that point yet because the whole patent
Yeah.
is pending, and my dad's the one dealing with it, and he's been getting dicked around with this whole COVID shit. So, they can't issue patents right now because of COVID. What?
Yeah, no, exactly. Why?
It's COVID. Can't do anything.
Crazy.
Yeah, because COVID's front in the line. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Well, keep us posted because we might have somebody, especially if you're in the New York area, that can maybe be able to help you out. So,
Fabulous.
yeah.
Excellent.
And Tanya, do you have any other stories for us, especially like a first memory of when you were a kid about poops or farts? Like, especially with you hearing about this like stick, like when was it that you realized, like Matt told us when he realized he had how to wipe his own butt when he was a kid, and like that story, like, is there anything that ties into that?
Well, I just know that this is a story that my parents will tell. As a child, a lot of little people, we can't crawl because the way our arms and legs are. So we do what's called a butt scoot. And so we sit on our bums and we just basically hop. Well, back in the 70s, early 70s, diapers weren't as designed as well as they were. So, when you're doing the butt scoot, everything would start falling out. And I guess I was known to have quite tough stool back then, so I would literally be shitting nuggets.
Oh my God.
They look like Maltesers, and I guess, I love a good Malteser, so I'd be butt scooting around the living room and leaving little fucking turds all over, and then they'd be like, oh, and then I'd like scoot back and start. I was like Pac-Man.
Oh.
Just my mom would come in and I'd have like a mouthful of my own turns.
Oh.
Yeah. There you go.
Wow. That's a good memory. That's a really epic memory.
So I was the one with the hard, and then apparently my sister was the one with the loose stools, and my parents would come in and she'd be standing in her crib with her diaper just throwing it around her head, and just, they called her the artist because she would just
paint the walls,
paint and wall paint with her shit.
Oh my God.
Full of it. So we were quite the pair, let's put it that way.
Wait, you were eating your own poop? I was choking on my own spit.
She did say that, yes.
I did, yeah. I don't think I actually consumed any, but I do. My mom said that I did have like the little chocolate nuggets in my mouth. I was a poop pack man.
Yeah. Walk.
How many viewers do you guys have? This is gonna.
Oh, Ellen's dying. That is
That's had their hands full between the two of you.
Absolutely. That's why they got divorced.
We did.
My dad's like,
he's like, that's it. Between the shits and everything else, I can't deal with this anymore. We had a guest on. We did a story about a kid that did a similar thing, like just painted the walls with their shit. Like little kid. I think it's just like a thing, like kids are still like, fuck it.
Yeah, it's gooey, it's messy.
Yeah.
You don't realize that it's, ugh.
These walls are boring.
Smell that, it's hey, fun.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Woof.
Oh my God.
Epic.
So that was the first also for the show out of 103 episodes.
You might be the MVP now of like shit stories. I'm not even kidding.
Well, no, she'll be the MVP for 2021. We just gave out the MVP award for this episode comes out 2021. So you're in the running, even though you
absolutely. I hope so, man.
You're like third episode.
I feel like you can share the MVP crown because that was like, there's just so much.
I'm telling you, when I heard about you guys, I was like, this is my zone. This is my jam.
It is, yeah. You delivered.
I am. I'm your number one guest.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Woo.
Too much.
That is. Where do you go from that?
I don't even know. I'm picking up the questions and I'm like, what? I can't ask you anything else because you basically said it all. Like,
yeah, you did.
If you have any, and I can't stop laughing. Oh my God. It's like I'm in pain. Oh, God bless
this isn't
you.
exactly a poop story, but I can tell you about another bathroom story because this is one of the things with, newly living with my parents. My parents got divorced when I was young. So my dad, I've never really lived with my dad. My dad's remarried. And so, like I said, we're at their place. So the other day I wanted to go to the bathroom, and then Kevin and I were going to have a shower. So he was walking into the bathroom behind me. So I get up on my step stool, I turn around, and he's closing the door behind him. And so I taken off my nightgown because we're about to get in the shower. As Kevin's closing the bathroom door, a little tiny lizard comes scooting under the door. We live in Florida. There's little lizards everywhere. No big deal. Well, thing is my dad fancies himself a bit of a lizard savior because we have cats everywhere and they bring the lizards in or whatever. And so Dad's like, no. So he's got a little lizard net with a little lizard scooper thing. So when, he goes around to the cats and bring a lizard in, he's like, oh, he believes that maybe on somewhere on planet Lizard, there's monuments erected to him because he saved so many lizards. Anyway, so I'm on the toilet. Kevin goes, oh, there's a lizard net. It's a little tiny one. He goes, I'm going to go get the lizard net. So he turns around, kind of half-ass closes the door. So I'm sitting on the toilet, and my dad, Kevin's coming back through the kitchen. My dad finds out that there's a lizard in the bathroom where I'm sitting. He comes busting in the bathroom, doesn't pay attention to me whatsoever, and has got the lizard net and his little broom, and he's got this thing cornered. My dad is bent over with his ass up against my face, and I'm sitting there now. I'm butt naked on the toilet. Kevin's standing in the doorway, and I'm looking at him going, this is not how I thought the day was going to start. Me butt naked on the toilet with my dad's ass in my face. Like, this is weird. So
he's like, welcome home.
Bathroom fun story, yeah.
Oh my God.
I didn't shit on him though. So.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like he almost shit on you.
Yeah, really.
They guess he didn't fart in your face or something.
Oh yeah, still got my eyebrows.
It also sounds like you have a very, very understanding, loving partner, your fiance. I mean, to deal with any of these code browns that you've been
He hates poop. He hates poop. And he's like a super macho. He's a total country redneck guy, right? So for him to go into the women's restrooms, or like even if it's just like one stall where you lock the door but it says the women in there, he gets he's like, no. So a lot of times I'll have to go to the men's, but I'm like, no, you're going into the ladies. There's only one stall. But there's a couple of times like in the UK where we've gone into the handicap stall, but it was in the main part of the bathroom, and Kevin's in the stall with me, and then a bunch of women will come in and they're doing their thing, and Kevin's sitting there looking at me like, I'm going to kill you. Like, he's so upset that he's now stuck in the women's restroom and he can't talk, and there's me pooping everywhere, and he's just sitting there going, I hate my life. And I can't believe he's still with me, you guys.
I mean, he's a keeper. He's a keeper for sure. You should get that guy a medal.
He loves me despite my poop.
Oh.
We talk always on this show about how love is not romance. Love is cleaning the shit out of your partner's pants. So,
Absolutely.
you sounds like you found a real partner there. Like, that makes the biggest difference in the world,
Yeah, I wouldn't say they would actually clean up my underwear. He'd probably burn them or throw them in the dumpster.
Yeah, he's like, these are gone.
Yeah. But
he's still helping you.
He's still there, man. He's still there.
Yeah.
He's disposing the criminal evidence. He's still helping.
High five for Kevin.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. That is the best.
Tanya, do you have any other stories to share with us?
I'll probably remember more when I get off the.
Hey, we can always do a part 2.
Yeah, you can always come. You can always come back.
Yeah, give me another month.
Yeah, no, don't. You can always come back. You're more than welcome.
Over the Christmas season. No.
You're more than welcome.
No, none that I can think of right now.
That's cool.
No, it's totally fine.
Well, I have a little news story. We do news on this show, and we have a news story that I've been wanting to tell. 3 people actually texted me about this thing too. Ooh. I think Ellen texted me as well, but like, it's what we got to talk about because it's poop related. So I'm going to play this little theme song, and then we'll get into the news segment of the show. I love that theme song, but I may have to go and it's just so old. It's from like 1978, and I don't mind the old part.
Sounds like it.
Well, no, I'm not talking about the actual quality, the tone, the quality. It's more like I couldn't find like a really good, better quality one, but it's still, I like it. I'm gonna rock with it for a little bit, and then maybe we'll switch it up later. But anyway,
I like the 70s vibe.
Oh yeah, no, I love the vibe. I just wish the audio was a little clearer, but it's still funny. So this story comes from us, from our neighboring state here in New York, New Jersey. This was a Hackensack school board member, actually, who's kind of a piece of shit. I mean, there's a shit related to this, but she made headlines by opposing a bunch of LGBTC curriculum, over a Zoom meeting, like a while ago. So this is from like a Hackensack. I forgot that it was. I think the New York Post covered this, but it was like a little Hackensack local paper. So this woman Frances Kajella. That's what I'm going to go with. Kajella. That's what your name is now. They were having this whole Zoom meeting about like curriculum and such, and she forgot she had her laptop on, her camera, for the Zoom meeting. Took it to the bathroom, and nearly 150 participants, including students, saw her on the toilet doing her thing. A short time later, Vice President Scott James Vickery reportedly told Kojella that you need to go. We're here trying to get work done while you're sitting on the toilet. I love that he called her out too about this.
God bless.
I mean, he'd done some other he just basically was just saying like how she's being an embarrassment to like people all across New Jersey by just being so hateful. But on top of that, let's call you out for the fact you're taking a shit and you don't forget how a computer works. But so she apparently later on, I think she had actually resigned like the next day. This happened on a Monday night. Tuesday, she's like, I'm out.
Oh no!
Yeah, and I believe she's like a trustee on his board. I believe they're it's actually like you have to be an elected position to get on this thing. So it's not like she can just be like, so they have to find a different person. It was like a kind of coveted spot. So she's just like, I guess the embarrassment was just too much. So it's kind of crazy. But yeah, she was kind of an awful person, but karma's a bitch.
And she was awful because of LGBT.
Yeah, they want to propose like, that LGBTQ curriculum in schooling in Jersey. They want to like teach history of it, like authors, like just be inclusive. Yeah. And she was just like, I don't have the quote here. It's just I'm not even going to bother reading because it's repulsive. But like she just was saying that how she thought it was just like a huge mistake to like be teaching like sin in school, and how it's a parent's right to like the usual arguments when it comes to that kind of thing. So,
and Tanya, with your stories with your partner coming into the bathroom with you and then talking about trans bathroom issues that we've been dealing with, it's like, maybe we should just have all unisex bathrooms. Like it should not be this big of a deal,
You know what? And the thing is, in the UK, they have a lot of unisex bathrooms. And I mean, to me, you walk in and if you're in your own little stall, you lock the door.
Yeah.
Like, in that way, if you're a man and you just want to use the urinals, you can go off to the left and go behind the wall.
Yeah. I mean,
and they have that area. So, I mean, yeah, but,
it's a simple solution.
Make them all that way.
Yeah, it's so funny because like when you're at home, no one's ever like, oh, sorry, this is the ladies' bathroom, this is the men's bathroom. No, we don't do that. You would think that's the dumbest idea ever if you're at home. So I mean, why not? The whole concept is just like,
if you're in your
ridiculous.
own little stall,
exactly.
What difference does it make?
Yeah,
exactly.
You can stand. Nobody needs to know.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's silly. So
yeah.
I'm glad that this woman saw the light and was like, I should really resign. I mean, she should have resigned for that statement about the whole anti LGBT thing, but the fact that she got caught on camera, I love it so much.
Yeah, it's just funny to me. Like, how do you not know your camera's on? Like people.
She had to go. I could see if it was like the first week of like, oh my God, I'm getting used to doing Zoom calls. And like, oh my God. But like now it's like, 9 months into it? Like everybody should be a pro at this point.
Well, I think I have an iPad, right? When you're on a computer, you usually have a light that comes on. Well, with the iPad, you don't. There's no indication that your camera's actually on. So if here, and I went and I thought, I'm going to turn my camera off right now, and I don't actually click it all the way, and I think it's off, and then you're like toting around, you're like, oh, the microphone's still on, or I did a gig, one of my first Zoom gigs, and Kevin was with me, and I was in the living room, and I knew that I was going to be getting introduced soon, and there was a girl on before me doing her comedy bit, and I unmuted myself, and Kevin's sitting beside me, and he's like, who is this chick? She sucks. And I was like, I'm on camera, and I'm like, like, oh my God. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I wanted to crawl in and die. Luckily, hopefully, we were in a room with like a whole bunch of people online that I don't know if they caught.
Yeah.
My reaction was like,
it could have come from someone else, maybe. Yeah. Well,
no, but at the same time, it's like your iPad, when you're doing TikTok and you all of a sudden have to poop, you don't bring your iPad into the bathroom.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Even if you can't turn off your camera.
Yeah, you know better.
take a break.
Yeah, you're like, let me just bring this show into the bathroom.
Given my experience, I can't waste the technology.
Yeah. Let's mix it up for the fans now.
You could have been the new Kim Kardashian of poop if you brought your camera into the bathroom with you.
Now that you mention it.
Yeah, exactly. Oh boy. Well, this was a joy. I thought this was so much fun. Thank you for being on the show with us.
Thank you, Matt Fraser, for bringing us all together.
Thank you, Matt Fraser.
I have not laughed that hard in a long time, like tears streaming. I was choking on my own spit. So
you almost fell over in your seat.
Much.
You almost you were rocking back and forth.
Oh my God! Yeah,
I thought
almost fell off my own.
You completely went out of frame. You came back in.
Yeah, I mean, I know you are a professional comedian, but the way you made me laugh today, thank you.
Yeah,
I know you're a very talented woman. So
yes.
Well, that's the beauty of that story, is that because, like I said, I don't have to embellish it. That the raw emotion is what sells it, and the anxiety, because
it kills. It kills every time.
All of your stories, from being a little kid scooting to your stick harpooning yourself,
to your wonderful 50-year-old your 50th birthday surprise. I mean, just guns blazing. Well,
anal leakage.
Yeah, anal leakage. Where can the fans find you?
Well, right now I'm coming up on 1 million followers on TikTok.
Wow.
Pretty awesome.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So I'm doing that. I do TikTok. Tanya Lee Talks pretty much twice a day online. TikTok Live. And of course, I'm on Facebook, Tanya Lee Davis. Comedian Tanya Lee Davis on Instagram. My YouTube's Tanya Lee Davis. Everything is Tanya Lee Davis. Dwarf Diva. You can find me. I'm easy.
Excellent. Well,
easy.
I would highly recommend everybody listening to this go find Tanya Lee Davis. She's hilarious. She's amazing, and great storyteller and very funny person.
Yeah. So good. Thank you so much.
My pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me.
Of course, anytime.
And happy pooping, everybody, and enjoy your butthole.
Hey Poopy Podcast is brought to you by Perfect 4 Entertainment, produced by Dave and Ellen, with executive producer Stormy Leather, edited by me, Dave.
For more information, go to heypoopypodcast.com for episodes, merch, and more. Follow us on Instagram at heypoopypodcast and Twitter at heypoopy. Theme song by Jordan Perlson. Hey Poopy.